Welcome back to Okami. I'm still Dan, I think.
Oh boy, 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 Dan, do you know what time it is?
Is it make fun of Sabo o'clock?
No,
Because Sabo's
close,
dead.
close, it's make fun of Marvel time, baby!
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that in a second, but also, I need to inform the audience, Sabo is either dead or late, we don't know which one, but either way, I'm docking his pay.
Have you heard, Dan?
Which one? There's so many to choose from.
Have you heard about everyone's favorite Inhuman?
Oh, Miss Marvel, yes! The latest entry to the popular enough to kill category for shitty drama.
Yeah, it's not even shitty drama. It's just like, when she, like, you know how many issues of this Spider-Man run that she for, the run that she's gonna die in? Do you know how many issues she's been in?
One.
About 12 fucking panels. Total.
And is it the one where she dies, too?
No, not yet. No, she's been, like, if I say backtrack, it's one of those things where she's been so, non-existent in this run.
Well, yeah, she doesn't really show up in Peter Parker Spider-Man comic books. She sometimes shows up in Miles.
She has been, like, such a non-entity. It's genuinely of the... Like, I feel like most people would genuinely be sad or shocked at the big reveal. So anyway, I'm just gonna go through this all real
Well,
quick.
Spider-Man fans specifically. Kamala is a very popular character in general, but...
Yes, that's why it'd be very silly to kill her off, but here we are.
Well, I mean, no, because it's the drama, it's drama, and then also they can, change her powers for the MCU movie, because Nick Lowe is also writing that movie.
Yeah, guess what? It's not gone down as nearly the way they think they'd hoped it would.
Oh?
Well, for starters, that issue hasn't come out yet. It got leaked.
Yeah, it got leaked, and they are not happy about it, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, they spent, like, an entire day basically begging people, don't look at spoilers, and then gave up and decided to put out a half-assed press release.
They also gave up and showed the cover.
Oh, yeah. And man, I gotta tell you, the art on that cover...
It's fucking funny.
Like, all the characters, like, everyone just looks like, why it looks confused as to why they're there. Like, Wolverine looks like he's just like...
You wanna know why they're confused to be there? Wolverine has had one comic with her at all, and the rest of them have, like, shared, like, maybe 6 lines with her, period. I think Captain Marvel herself is, like, the closest to having any connection, really.
Let's be honest.
But that's Carol, so who cares?
I was gonna say, there's no way she's gonna feel any emotions because Kamala was like not involved in her fascist Minority Report dictatorship.
Yeah, actually, Kamala was actually against it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why she probably looks like that, because she's like, good, I'm glad she's dead. She didn't help me put the boot on people's throats. Fucking dumb fucking kid bitch. I'm glad she died, and I hope she burns in hell!
Move over, Dan Slott. We've got a brand new name to add to the list of people who have ruined Spider-Man forever. Zeb Wells, take your fucking place up there.
I thought it was Nick Lowe.
No. Zeb Wells has been the writer of this entire run, because people have tried to say, or people until yesterday or whatever the news actually, or the day before, whatever it actually dropped, people were trying to, or some people were trying to defend the Zeb Wells run on Spider-Man. They were saying, oh no, it's still good, it's just a little garbage. I'm sure it's all part of the grand scheme. You just can't understand.
Yeah, just like
the plot and the characters.
Just like Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, it's worse. It's arguably.
Oh no, I'm sure it's worse than that. I just want to make fun of Superior Spider-Man because people pretend that thing was actually fucking good when it was garbage. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, now that got leaked, even those people are like, no, I'm done with this shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, more people are fucking done with comics, and I'm just like, good. Good, actually good. It was a great reminder for me, though, because sometimes, like, if there's ever that inkling in the back of my head, it's like, why did I stop reading comic books? Marvel is always quick to remind me why I stopped reading comic books. It's actually very nice of them, honestly.
So, I'm gonna sum up the Wells Spider-Man storyline, because, oh boy, it's a treat. So, Nick Spencer, he did the Secret Empire stuff, but he fixed his problems by doing a really good run on Spider-Man, where he fixed a whole bunch of shit he undid since past. Fucking finally, Peter and MJ hooked back up. Fucking finally, Kraven the Hunter got re-killed. Fucking finally. Just all good vibes. We're back to what Spider-Man. We're building back up to a Spider-Man that people can relate to and like, and is an intolerable fuckface. So anyway, Zeb Wells starts his book, or starts his run, by flash forwarding 6 months. Peter and MJ are split up. MJ's shacking up with some rando dude called Paul with 2 kids.
By the way, he's on the cover too of Kamala's death.
Oh, I am aware. Oh, we'll get to Paul, don't you? So anyway, 6 months later, everyone hates Spider-Man.
Oh, hold on. Sabo's here. Also, Sabo, your pay is being docked.
Oh no, I've gone from nothing to nothing.
You're also gonna have to work through Christmas.
Ah.
You'll have to you'll have to do the entire recording yourself, and you'll have to provide both voices of a Train and myself. This was Train's joke, by the way. I've stolen it.
I hope you enjoy singing the praises of Gundam Seed.
That's called slander, and I will fucking sue you.
So anyway, I'm summing up this recent Spider-Man run for everyone, and I've only just started. So hey, flash forward 6 months after Peter and MJ back together, everything's all hunky dory. Now Peter and MJ are split up. MJ's with Paul and his 2 kids. I don't remember their names, and to be honest, Marvel doesn't remember their names either, because at least one of them has been named 2 completely different things across these 20-ish, these 26.
Are you serious? They've What
Of
the
course I'm fucking serious. Why would I joke about that, Dan? They literally forgot the name of one of these important children from MJ and Paul.
What the fuck?
So yeah. So and I'll stress. So 6 months have gone by. Everyone hates Spider-Man. They don't say why. Everyone's really vague about it. They're just like, man, Peter, I can't believe you did that thing. I can't believe you did the thing. What's wrong with you, Peter? And then it's like, what did he do? Well, we're not going to tell you. That would be insane. And then, so they then spend the next 20 issues not telling you why everyone
20
hates
issues?
him.
This is over a year.
Yes, over a year of not telling us why everyone hates Peter Parker at all. Not even vaguely alluding to what it is.
It's almost like they haven't thought of it yet.
Well, almost. Everyone hates him, including Aunt May. She's mad about something. What did he do? What did he do? So after, 20 issues, I'm going to skip over those 20 issues because there's nothing happens in those issues. I think, Norman Osborn gets hit with, a D-Evil Beam.
D-Evil Beam?
Yeah, so now he's the Golden Goblin and he's good now, and he's all sad because he used to be evil. And I'm like, of all the people in all of the comic books that you're going to try this shit with, fuck you! Fuck you!
You know what they should have done? They should have done with Shocker.
I mean, they should have just done literally anything other than let's give Norman Osborn his redemption arc, so he can literally say to Spider-Man, "You're my friend." What a fucking joke! Actual hatred here. So anyway,
you're my best friend.
Anyway, skipping past these 20 issues, and you might be asking, where does Kamala Khan fit into those 20 issues? She doesn't.
Nope.
Is she anywhere in those issues? No. Anyway, 20 issues later, we finally get our fucking answers as to what happened. Turns out almost immediately after the last run ended, a math professor who decides he wants to become the vessel of a Mayan god, and he's a one-shot villain that Zeb Wells also wrote ages ago. It was a trash story then. It's an even trasher story now. So anyway, evil math professor is like, I want to have this Mayan god vessel, and I'm going to teleport you two, Peter and MJ, to an alternate universe, because if I kill you there, I will become the Mayan math god thing. And also it speaks in Nordic runes for some reason, because I don't know. So anyway, he teleports them to this other world, and they escape. And who they run into Paul. So yeah, it turns out that guy who spent the entire comic as a normal guy, that everything pointed to him just being some dude. Yeah, it turns out he's some trans-dimensional bullshit fucker. I don't know. If it sounds like I'm not explaining things, it's because it's not explained at all either. So anyway, MJ decides, okay, we need to send Peter back to the regular universe so he can go and get tech or get things in order to save the day. So she does that against his will. He's like, no, I'm not going to leave you. That'd be ridiculous. So anyway, she forcibly ejects him from the universe. And then he's like, well, I guess I've got to go and just steal from the Fantastic Four and the Avengers all the tech I need, and there's no time to explain. So he does. He then just goes and steals all the tech he needs and rushes back to, help his wife or girlfriend. And then you're like, okay, so if MJ's the reason he got sent back to the regular dimension, and then he broke all the rules in order to save her, why is she mad at him? That is a good question, isn't it?
Well, you see drama.
Well, see, it's a very good question. Is there an answer to that question? No. Okay.
It's a very good question, and then he just points a gun at Kamala Khan's head and shoots her real quick.
Well, that's the other thing, is that they spent this basically most of this run hyping up that issue 26 was going to be a big deal, the most shocking Spider-Man story ever, because it's also the 50th anniversary of Gwen Stacy's death. Basically, heavily implying they're going to kill MJ. And then they killed Kamala Khan, a character who has literally nothing to do with any of this.
Not only that, but, like, again, we know Kamala's gonna come back.
It's not a matter of the fact that she's going to come back. It's just a matter of, why of all things is this where we decide if it's all about we want to change our power set to be, to be in line with the MCU. Because they're fucking cretins.
Because
is that what they're gonna do?
Probably.
Yeah,
Like
No, I swear, if they make her power set like the MCU, I'm going to. Send
I'm calling it right now. She's gonna come back by October at the latest. She'll come back, and suddenly her powers will be purple energy powers.
I mean, it's exactly what's going to happen. I guarantee you. Don't think anyone's under the delusion that this is the actual plan, because there's a movie out in November, or of something, I don't know what it is, but there is a project involving her that they have coming out in November, and just like with Nazi Cap, just like with Superior Spider-Man, they're not just going to have their title character be dead for all the kids who aren't going to pick up comics, because kids don't read comics, because kids can't read comics, because you can't find comics anywhere. Outside
of going to a specific comic shop or Walmart. Some of them are in Walmart.
You can find pretty easily, though.
Movies?
You can find volumes of manga.
It's true.
And that's so bizarre. Something that's really easy to find and easy to get into.
You know what's funny? So, I do find some comics, you can find them at, Walmarts, but they're, in a weird spot. If you want to find manga, you just go to the book section.
Yeah.
If a kid wants to get the latest My Hero or One Piece or what have you, just go to the book section. It's right there.
Yeah, or just go on Viz. They literally let you read, even without a subscription, you can just read,
Oh, yeah. That doesn't mean just, to go with physical stuff, but if we go to that, we can just go to Viz and read a lot of it. Or Jump, even. A lot of... But anyway.
Yeah. It's just utterly insane that we've once again reached this point of, 400 bad decisions, all culminating once again in this outrage-inducing bullshit that is mostly funny, not because of the sheer audacity of doing it, but the fact that it's got leaked and it's been robbed from them. And it's that is possibly the most satisfying thing, is that they've completely lost. And just in typical Marvel fashion, just because an idea is terrible, just because a storyline is met with universal revulsion, just because literally everyone says, why don't you get rid of this, that you can fucking prove that their decisions and storylines keep making fucking tangible negatives on their income. We've still never recovered from One More Day, and yet we will not walk this shit back. They'll stick to their guns, no matter how terrible they are.
In fact, usually the bad storylines are what they stick to. Anything that's good usually is what they'll throw out.
They fucking double down on.
They literally threw out what the Spider-Man run was doing right before they gave it to this fucking Joker.
Yeah,
and people liked what was going on there.
I cannot fathom who really is left in Marvel who's batting for One More Day. Just run it back. You could have. Could have been
Dan Slott? I don't know.
He's not there anymore. I don't think he
That's
is.
not at Marvel.
Is he? I thought
Yeah.
he like fucked off to parts unknown
No,
where
he's
he belongs.
no, he's still
The
there.
rat cunt.
He's
You
still
know,
there.
Funny we bring up Dan Slott because I reread Kraven's Last Hunt yesterday. I'm like, man, this is what Superior Spider-Man wished it was. And this was done in 6 issues and over a course of a year. And didn't involve lying to children.
Well, to be fair, I think Dan Slott's delusions thought they were going to let him keep it. And then when Marvel told him, like, all right, you got to wrap it up now, he was probably really upset. And then he was really upset when some random nerd figured that out and cussed them out. I wonder who that random nerd was.
I think he was more upset when he couldn't have Black Cat get violently beaten to death by Dr. Octopus.
Or strangle MJ to death.
Dan Slott's got issues. I'm not saying he hates women, but...
I mean, he might hate women. He might have some issues with women. Deep-seated issues.
But anyway, yeah, we've once again reached this fucking threshold, this point of not quite no return, but like, how many times do we really have to go through this before eventually we'll fucking learn, or Marvel will learn the lesson? Like, it staggers me that they have proof, they could prove how this shit affects their sales and their numbers and
they keep doing it.
And they just keep doing it, and they just do not back down. Like, fucking hell, everyone admits shit like One More Day was a huge mistake. And yet here we are, still
doing this dance again.
Because it's still just the same of, let's have cosmic forces tear Peter and Mary Jane apart, because, fuck me, we can't have Mayday Parker.
No.
Literally, like...
We can't have Peter be happy, either. It's against the rules.
I just don't get it anymore. Like, who do they think people is buying comics? Because it's definitely not kids, like I said. And if they really, if their argument is, well, we want to keep Spider-Man like eternally youthful and unmarried, it's like, you're not appealing to that crowd anymore. Like, kids don't read comics. Kids can't read comics. It's too fucking obnoxious for them to get hold of. And if they really are gonna have to jump through all of those hoops to read comics, I don't think they're gonna give a shit if Spider-Man's a married man or a dad. Fucking.
Oh, kids give even less of a shit than adults do about stuff like that. Like, think about this. When we were kids, a lot of us started Dragon Ball with Z, with no knowledge of, like, the shit from the past at all. And we just nodded our heads anytime that they said, like, oh yeah, the Red Ribbon Army, something Goku fought in his past. Like, oh, Goku fought that in his past. We just nodded our heads while the little, like, coins that are in our brain stem just jingle around.
I mean, there in itself is a point. There's a character who has, for pretty much all of our knowledge of the series, been a dad.
Yeah, we didn't know about Kid Goku until, like, they started airing Dragon Ball, like, towards the end of Z. Like, we didn't care as kids. When they started doing Dragon Ball, they were like, oh, we get to see young Goku now.
I mean, most characters in a lot of kids' stuff back then were adults.
Yeah.
It's supposed to give you people to look up to and something to look forward to. Now all of a sudden it's like kids will only identify with stupid kids. When we were kids, they were either kids or older teens. Because remember, because you had like that, or you had like the Power Rangers, which were like older teens. It's usually like around there.
Well, teens in story.
Teens in story.
Well, yeah, the actors weren't teenagers.
After a while, they weren't even teens in story.
Oh, yeah, true.
I had to give up on the whole teenagers with attitude thing. But, yeah, like, I just, once again, back in this fucking hellhole Marvel's dug itself for seemingly no reason. Like, nobody's asked for any of this. And, like, fucking just... It's just funny that...
It's baffling.
That once again, it's, like, been brought home to roost by, because I mean now everyone's like, oh, but we like Kamala. It wouldn't have mattered who they'd picked. It was still
yeah. People were gonna be like, what the fuck?
Well, as this, I mean,
I never really had a problem with Kamala. I thought she was okay.
I liked Kamala.
They just didn't really know what to do with her.
Yeah, Kamala I liked.
She was created as like a plot device to make Inhumans big because Marvel didn't own the X-Men film rights anymore.
Yeah,
Something that is now totally pointless anyway.
Oh yeah, that's just an aside to that. Don't forget one of the changes MCU did was make her a mutant, which is also something that they're definitely going to do when they bring her back.
So,
Assuming the MCU lasts long enough.
I actually have a thing about that as well. So I saw someone complain about, oh, this is about how even though Marvel's editor-in-chief is Asian, this is how you treat Asians, is it? And it's like, I mean, she wasn't killed because she was Asian. But I will say, if they make her a mutant instead of an Inhuman, and considering what mutants have been an allegory for since, well, the inception, they did just kill her to give her a race lift then.
Yes.
And that's fucked.
Considering, but that's what I'm thinking they're gonna do. I could be wrong, but if I'm going by stupid decisions that comic books love to do, and what they've done so far, it fits the bill.
They definitely want everything to be more MCU based, regardless of how good or bad an idea that is.
Yeah.
You know, that's just Marvel in general. Regardless of how good or mostly bad an idea is, we just got to stick to it. Like, man, people will, like 20 years.
Well,
later,
no. They don't stick to good ideas. We don't stick to those. Only bad ideas. House of M was beautiful. Let's keep that. It was so good.
20 years later, I'm sure people will learn to accept one more day. Yes, I'm sure we'll stop getting literally every
that was the reason there was so much rage about Doctor Strange 2 last year, because everyone was like, oh, damn it. They went with Wanda being crazy again. We thought we were past that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like that's Wanda's whole character is that, hey, Wanda's crazy. And that's it. They don't let her move past that.
It's kind of the only story she really has going.
When you only write one fucking story.
This is why we should go back to just permanently killing people. I've said before, Clone Saga is the root of all evil because it allowed us to open the avenue to bring back Norman Osborn. If he was dead for 20 years, if he'd have stayed dead, he could have solved so many fucking problems before they became problems.
I don't know. But I feel like if they killed characters permanently, then it'd be like we saw it with Ultimate Marvel, where eventually they were just out of characters people cared about because they killed them all.
Well, they also didn't have any characters people cared about in general in Ultimate Marvel. If they weren't killed, they had their characters assassinated. Remember that time Wolverine left Cyclops for dead in Antarctica so he could fuck Jean Grey? Remember that time Wolverine body swapped with Spider-Man so he could try and fuck Mary Jane?
Mary Jane while she's a teenager. By the way, that was a Nick Lowe idea. We actually can't blame Bendis for that. We've recently learned.
Blame Bendis for a lot of other things.
We can blame Bendis for many things, but we can also say that wasn't Bendis' idea, and Bendis is the only reason MJ didn't die at the hands of Dan Slott.
Well,
Amazing Spider-Man writer Zeb Wells has been revealed he's been warned to avoid conventions for the time due to fan backlash fears over the upcoming twist.
He has literally reached the wall of infamy, or whatever you want to call it, of Spider-Man writers, where you do these things, and it's like nobody can ever say his run is like, even like, you know, the staunchest people who would say try and convince you that like, oh no, Superior Spider-Man's genius, you just don't get it, and it's like it's not, it's trash. It's like unbelievably trash. It's ripping off an actually iconic story and somehow can't even manage to be half as good as fucking Last Hunt. Insane. But you can't even use the usual bullshit reasons that people try and do for stuff like Superior Spider-Man, because there's literally 20 issues of fucking wheel spinning.
Hey, real quick, before we continue this topic, what do I do with this old lady with the knife chasing me?
You do with her?
Yeah, in Okami.
You have to go. I think you have to. Have you been to the sanctuary yet with the birds?
Where's that?
You have to go through the gates, I think.
Oh, okay. I see a gate on my map. Okay.
So,
bye, lady.
Yeah, that's tied to a different quest that you'll be able to do later. You can't interact. You mean you could hit her, but it won't
do anything. I did headbutt her a couple dozen times.
Yeah.
I see like it looks like a big gate on my map, so I'll just go to that. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
I lost my my train of thought. What was I saying before? Tell me, Sabo. You know.
Something about I don't know. I got to the guy of being of warned to avoid conventions, and I'm just
that's kind of where my brain was last too, because I was laughing
I'm
about
like, what kind of lunatic would assault somebody at a convention?
that. you know, Sabo, you could have saved us all so much if you just hit Casada back then.
It had already happened by that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
He wouldn't just assault Joe Casada for no reason. I mean, he should have done, but he wouldn't do it. Well, at that point, one more day had already happened.
The damage was already done.
They'd be like, better be careful. You never know when someone might just go crazy.
It's true.
I mean, there was that guy that tried to attack Austin St. John at a convention because of Jason David Frank, even though he didn't actually make it into the convention.
Yeah, he should have attacked him for his mega fraud.
We didn't know about the mega fraud yet.
Wow. But yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna say anyone should attack him or even insult. Actually, no, you can insult him. Like, it's his work out there. He's put it up there. He's open to criticism. You can tell him, man, your writing sucks, dude. Get a different job.
Maybe learn how to write.
Or just fuck off.
You can fuck off, yeah.
Nobody wants you. Go away now. Like, all you've done is take, like, come after a bunch of people who've done really fun stuff and interesting things. Like, Zdarsky had a really good run on, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man.
Like I said,
fuck me.
Like, you'll have these good writers show up, and then they will immediately jettison all the good work they do because they want to do the shit storyline again. They want to go back to shit. They love shit. Comic book executives from Marvel and DC love trash. They love it so much, I think they should get jobs as trash collectors. I think they'd be great at it.
Right, I realised what my point was before. It was just about how nobody can ever, like, possibly defend Zeb Wells' story because there is no story. It's 20 issues of wheel spinning and very clear we have no idea what we're doing because you can't even keep the name of one of the children straight.
Which, I mean, you could literally just write that name down on a piece of paper. And just or just grab the issue that you introduced them and just flip through the page real quick and be like, oh yeah, Bob. I don't know their names.
Probably be even easier than that because presumably they type all of their scripts up on a computer and said scripts would still exist on a computer. You don't just like delete a script after you've finished working on it.
Unless
like, so it shows
they might delete them.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think they would like bother. I don't even think they bother deleting them. That's the problem. I think they're too lazy and stupid. Like they're not fucking got the energy to go and research their own fucking characters. There's no way they actually have the energy to actively delete shit. That's like 2 clicks, Dan. That's 2 more clicks. Like with those 2 clicks, they could have fucking learned.
Wait, hold on. Maybe they didn't save it. They were too lazy to delete it. But what if they just never even saved it?
They probably wouldn't have been able to get past that or get into, like, you know, print or going into the next stage. Because an artist would have had to have a copy of it in order to, you know, draw from the script. And
Maybe
the editor would have had to have a copy of the script in order to, you know, edit the script.
I guess.
But, yeah, so it's 20 issues of wheel spinning, nothing happening, just vaguely alluding to shit that's clearly not been thought out, not been pre-planned. You have all of this needless character drama, and then when you actually do get to the revelations, it's like, well, of course it's going to be unsatisfying because, A, for how much you hype up, oh my god, Peter, what, I can't believe you did the horrible thing. You can't actually go double down and do something like that because you basically have to have, Spider-Man, I don't know, kill a child or something in order to justify everything that happened.
But you
So
also
not
don't want to
what
do that because you don't want to have Spider-Man kill a child.
You don't want Spider-Man to be seen as the bad guy because it's his book, and it's like, okay, well, you put yourself in an unwinnable position, and your response to that is to just, keep. And as I said, most sensible people would think about that and go, yeah, okay, if we don't actually have a good idea for this, maybe we shouldn't be like building up. Maybe this isn't the angle we should be taking. Well, that's not the angle they did. They decided, no, we're gonna stick to this plan because this is what we've decided is the only conceivable course of action for this story that's not been written yet, is to just make it up as we go along and then just hope and pray that we stick the landing. They didn't.
They're gonna do something stupid like Peter didn't do anything wrong, and it's like mind worms.
Well, then it's like, okay, when you actually reveal, what Peter did was he stole technology in order to save his girlfriend. It's like, first, number one, why would MJ be mad about that?
Not only that, but like even the Fantastic Four, also like half the Fantastic Four, or well, all but one, wouldn't even be upset. Only Mr. Reed Richards would be mad because he's an asshole.
I don't think he would be, honestly. I think Reed would be like, oh, I mean, you should have told me, but fair enough. Because like,
that depends on what level of asshole they decide to write Reed Richards today.
It's like all of Reed Richards, for all of his whenever he's at his worst, he's always like, he understands, actually caring about people, and I feel, or at least caring about family, specifically, like spouses, and I just feel like there's no world where that doesn't, where most of the Fantastic Four, especially the Fantastic Four, don't just go, well, you should have asked us, but you know what, fair enough, we weren't using it. I mean, definitely not Captain America. If you'd have said, like, I stole from Tony Stark, yeah, I 100% believe that raging alcoholic, psychopathic cunt would be ass mad about that.
What do you mean you stole from me, you piece of shit? I'm the mega genius, and you are the scum of the earth, you piece of cunt shit. I hate you. Said Tony Stark.
No, he's not drunk anymore, is he?
I mean, he's always drunk in my heart.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I was gonna be like, they basically lowered off the alcohol because Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't do it much.
As I said, he's drunk in my heart.
He's an alcoholic still to me.
Robert Downey Jr. didn't want to play him as a really messed up alcoholic because he's like, I get into that headspace, I might relapse myself.
I honestly, I can understand that.
But he made him a functioning alcoholic.
Well, they just made him a guy who had the occasional drink.
Pissed himself in his own suit.
And that was about it. Yeah, that was the one time. Yeah, well, yeah, the one time he did go crazy, it was like, oh, it's despair from his impending death and not him just getting so drunk.
I mean, I get it, but on the other hand, you can't pretend Demon in a Bottle isn't, like, one of the most defining aspects of Iron Man.
It really is, because what other storylines does he have that weren't just, MCU taking another character storyline?
Star Wars.
In comics,
yeah.
Armor Wars, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Which basically amounts to, I don't like that everyone has my tech, I'm gonna fucking try and kill a bunch of people. Yeah, let's not forget...
Oh, wait, the other one, Civil War.
Oh, yeah, he also has Civil War. I was thinking of the Armor Wars, which is where...
War.
Oh, no, I was just saying also Civil War.
Extremis.
Which one's Extremis?
And there's that... that's where he gets the sentient, like, the...
the sentient robot suit, okay. That falls in love with him.
Or is that the one where he gets, the nanomachine things?
Yeah, no, that's where he gets the nanomachine upgrade that he got for, like, a couple of years, including during Civil War.
That was it. He gets this nanomachine thing that, like, bonds to his system or something.
Nanomachine, son.
It's the kind of thing where, like, we have to remember until the, Robert Downey Jr. movies, Iron Man was a C-lister.
Yeah. Until that movie did so good, he was like a C-lister.
Was he? I mean, he was like he was well known with like comic book readers who were probably more prevalent back in those days. But yeah, he wasn't like a household name.
He was not a flagship character.
No, it's not like Spider-Man or the X-Men where everybody knew them. Although there was that cartoon he had in the mid-90s, which
yeah, everyone had a cartoon back then. didn't do so. A lot of also didn't do so well. I mean, if Silver Surfer can have a fucking cartoon,
I mean, yeah, but people actually liked it. Like that's where I first saw him. And
I mean,
people actually kind of like the cartoon and kind of sort of like that's where I knew Iron Man from was the cartoon. I didn't really, in fact, I've never really read comics very much.
yeah. I mean,
I've
it's a
always
fine
been
enough.
a normie in that respect.
It's a fine enough series. Just it never reached the widespread mass appeal of like X-Men or Spider-Man
Spider-Man,
or.
yes, that is true.
And it's like, yeah, if you weren't like one of those two shows, you just kind of fell off to the wayside. Because Fantastic Four certainly did. Like, the most memorable thing about that Fantastic Four show is the theme song.
I knew Fantastic Four because my mom knew Fantastic Four from when she watched the old '60s cartoon. Except she didn't remember their names.
Well, good thing there's a handy.
She's just like it's like yeah, it's Fantastic Four with Stretch Man and Rock Man.
Fireman.
Fireman.
I don't think that's their names, but okay.
Girl.
Dotted Line Girl.
Dotted Line Girl.
At least you vaguely remember them. No, she didn't remember the one where Magneto showed up in his car, which is just a piece of metal shaped like a car that he drags around with his powers.
I defeated you once, and I shall do it again.
My car needs no gas.
Thanks,
Fool! Have you forgotten about my invincible magnetic power?
Well, yeah, then they give fucking Silver Surfer a cartoon for 13 episodes.
I mean, even that was like, why him? I mean, he was in the Fantastic Four cartoon, so people kind of, sort of, vaguely knew about him. But yeah,
especially when that show's just miserable. Like, it's just non-stop misery. That Silver Surfer cartoon.
My family's dead.
Not dead, just sent to a different part of the universe. Because Galactus is just kind of fucking with him. Oh yeah, sure. I said she could go home. I never said your home would be there when you got there, though. You said I couldn't eat it, but I did move it. It's like, that is the pettiest fucking play of all time. Well played, Galactus.
Honestly, I kind of approve.
Good job. You know what? You can have Earth now just for that play. But yeah, turns out, long story short, comic books suck. Let this industry fucking die.
It's trying its best to kill itself.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really surprised at what they're gonna do when like whatever money they've been saving up runs out.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Warner Brothers and Disney both work on the basis that Marvel and DC will operate at net loss, and basically the comics just exist to be factories for content for adaptations.
Yeah, but even the adaptations aren't doing good.
Well, maybe they weren't.
You know, Guardians 3 did okay, and if supposedly word is it's pretty good, but you know it didn't make the money the other ones did, and James Gunn is now gone. So.
Yeah. And Ant-Man and the what?
Ant-Man 3 bombed.
Shazam 2 bombed.
Black Adam super bombed. And the Marvels, they have such little confidence in, they keep moving it back.
And also they killed one of their characters.
Actually, yeah. Well, what would they have done if the Marvels should have been out by now?
Well,
would they have not done that plotline?
So I'll tell you this: Kamala Khan being killed off was not planned. I have conspiracy theories. I think MJ was the intended person they were going to kill, and they either chickened out or got told no by Marvel editors because.
Oh God, were they pulling an Arrow season 4 where they're like, someone's dead, we don't know who?
Yeah. They spent most of this run on building up that something shocking was going to happen in issue 26. And as I said, issue 26 is literally the 50th anniversary of Gwen Stacy's death. So it was pretty clear about what their intentions were, but I reckon they got told because the Kamala Khan kill has come literally out of nowhere. That's why people are upset. It's not just that she's dead; it's that she's dead for being in a book that she has nothing to do with, and she's not even in the vast majority of the book. She has no relevance to the story. She's got no relevance to anything in this book. and it's like she doesn't mean anything to Peter Parker. So it's like
They're vaguely friends in other adaptations where they're closer in age. Are they friends in the comic other than like the whole everyone kind of likes Spider-Man?
She's closer to Miles in the comics.
they have vague pleasantries, but no, they don't really have a connection beyond the oh hey it's you, oh hey it's you. Anyway, bye.
You know,
So
like
that's why everyone's mad. Like,
you know,
it's not
like
just-
in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, they were friends, but they were also like closer in age.
We don't talk about Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, well,
Terrible show.
Well, I've seen worse.
I didn't watch it, so I can't say shit.
There was that MTV.
Oh yeah, the MTV one.
I would take that MTV one like every single day over Ultimate Spider-Man. At least it's short.
That's true.
Spider-Man.
That's true. At least it ended pretty quickly.
It's like, oh no, 13 episodes versus Ultimate Spider-Man is what, like 4 fucking seasons of trash?
It would literally make more sense, like not even a joke, for Squirrel Girl to be in that cover than like any of the characters that are on that cover for her death.
Yeah, but they can't. I assume they can't kill Squirrel Girl because they'll just be like.
No, well, I mean, yeah, for killing Squirrel Girl that would also make more sense. But I mean, like for being on the cover, you know, with a dead Kamala Khan is what I mean.
Not even like they can't do it because she's a popular character. They can't do it because she's a freaking gag character. It'd be like killing off Deadpool.
Say you're missing my point. My point is, if you were to put like a collection of characters to be like looking sad because Kamala is dead, like Squirrel Girl would make more sense than literally everybody who's on there.
Are they friends?
Yes.
I know they were friends in that Marvel Girl
She
Power
was.
show.
I know she was also. I know in the comics at one point that she's a. Was it like I know Squirrel Girl eventually becomes like a college professor and she's like one of her teachers. And I think they eventually figure each other out in like a goofball scene. But yeah, they're buddies in the comics. But so that would make more sense. But there's a lot of other characters that would make more sense than what's on there. But I mean, they're not gonna do shit. They don't care. This is a last minute plan.
Yeah, as I said, that's the point.
You should you should just be thankful we create the comics for you.
If you make good comics.
Yeah, it's actually why did you stop giving us your money? Like, what do we have to do for you to give us your money again? I think that was literally like a angry investor call with like Disney, where they're like, they're not giving us their money anymore.
Make good comics.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. If you it's
we need money.
Let's
let's just make it worse.
I think they've got to the point where they just like, we just deserve money for being a major franchise.
Pretty much, and now they're paying the price for it because.
What do you mean you're not just giving me free money?
This shit just doesn't fly, and it's just going to keep happening until they learn their lessons. And Marvel has proven that they do not want to learn from these mistakes.
Or until they go out of business.
Well, one of the two.
Whichever
they
comes
won't
first.
They won't go out of business because the character rights are just way too strong. Like, at the end of the day, merchandising is always going to be like the thing that keeps Marvel going. And now they're under Disney label. Disney's not just going to give up a major property that actually they can work with. This isn't like, you know, they have a random property they don't know what to do with, so fuck it, we'll sell it. This is Marvel. This is the Marvel universe. They'll keep hold of this till the day they fucking die.
Putin, you're the only one that can save us now.
I'm hoping. Apparently we're gonna like, you know, hit that 1 point. That you know, temperature increase by 2040 or something. So we're kind of all fucked anyway. So I just don't care. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've already won like everything because everyone I hate is gonna die, and I'm gonna die knowing that everyone who I could hate afterwards is gonna die too. So it's like you just can't. I can't lose now. Hooray!
What was that solid logic right there?
Yeah. Everyone's doomed, so how can I possibly lose now? Also, Doom's a good guy now, because, you know, they're not using him for any fucking movies. Man, I just, yeah, just make fun of. It's just make fun of Marvel Day today, really, because they've really shit the bed. I mean, they've shit the bed so many times before. It's just this one actually pisses people off because people, like Kamala.
They're killing a character off that people like for no reason. The storylines are still shit.
Just wait until if they ever decide that it was because they were going to kill off MJ, and they couldn't. They'll be like, of course they killed the minority character to save the white girl.
That will never ever get admitted because they very much try never to admit all the behind the scenes drama that comes out. It usually gets leaked or
people will assume.
But people will
so
say
and
whatever
say it anyway.
So it's just it could have been I have a suspicion that it was that they'd already decided they were going to do this retcon to Kamala to change her.
So they're like, hey, we'll just get two birds with one stone. We'll just kill her and then bring her back.
Zeb Wells is like, well, I need to kill something off in this issue. So we'll just do this, and everyone will be angry for a week or two, and then we'll bring her back, and she'll be more in line with the MCU, and people will like it. And it's
I think they're going to be more angry than a week or two if they're telling him, hey, you might want to avoid conventions because people might assault you there.
I think she's going to be dead at least until the fall, basically.
Well, as I said, her movie's out in November. She'll be back by then.
Yeah, so I'm thinking probably October. October at latest.
Yeah.
Because popular characters, A, never last long dead. They usually come back pretty quickly. And B, they have that movie coming out, so she's got to be back. She's got to have a pulse in time for the movie.
Well, it's basically how these other
how the other ones have died. That's how the fucking Spectacular Spider-Man's, or not Spectacular, Superior Spider-Man went. That I've spent so much time making fun of.
It's literally you have a big movie coming out. This is not gonna be the status quo by then. So why are we wasting our time pretending? But people just. Well, I'm really hopeful that this is another nail in the coffin, and they'll once again another case of, oh man, our sales have massively gone down. Better blame everyone else other than us. It's clearly the fault of it's manga's fault that they're outselling us, and it's like, I don't know, maybe they're outselling you because they are offering a higher quality product.
What was it? I'm actually gonna save and end soon. I'm kind of lost in the game. I'm gonna look up a guide later. Because I went to the Sparrows, but
don't admit that on stream.
I don't fucking care. They could tell. They're watching the footage. They could.
No. I'm such a genius. I miraculously, instantly decided where I have to go on my own. Yes, exactly.
Oh, fuck that.
That's how I'd say it anyway.
Fuck that. But I'll pull it up in a second. But it's actually funny you said that. Because I did have something like that, someone bringing up manga when I was making fun of the, what they're doing right now. Let me save and I'll pull it up real quick. Fuck. I gotta open up my phone so I can read this.
Oh, man.
I gotta do things. Oh.
How dare you make me do things?
Oh, why would you do this to me? Okay, so, it was because someone just posted, like, they did a bunch of body swap episodes, to be honest, except the best one is Superior Spider-Man. I'm just like, that one is also bad. Good thing Dan Slott didn't have it his way fully, or Black Cat would have been beaten to death, and MJ would be killed. Some random person I never heard of writes L. So I decided as a gag that I would just call them Dan Slott. So I was like, quiet, Dan Slott, your story was ended by higher-ups, and there's nothing you can do about it. You were not able to kill MJ thanks to Bendis, and they didn't allow you to have Black Cat get beaten to death. Shucks, your manga. Marvel book sales are still dwindling, Slot, and you are part of the problem. And then they said two things that are just gibberish typing, and I'm just like, was it actually Dan Slott on an alt account trying to yell at me?
Oh no, how did he figure it out?
How did he figure me out? Quick, run! Last bang, run!
I mean, it's very it's not even a complicated thing of why are manga sales always outpacing comic book sales these days. It's
You know what? You know what's beating manga sales though?
What?
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, fair. Captain Underpants is at least a quality product.
Yeah, there wasn't like any added to the gag. Captain Underpants is the one thing circling around them. Like the top like list of sales is like Captain Underpants manga.
You know what it is? Captain Underpants has never made a deal with the devil to get rid of his wife.
Has Captain Underpants ever beaten one of his SOs to death?
Oh,
Don't give him ideas.
I believe in Captain Underpants.
I haven't read Captain Underpants, so I can't make more references to it. It wasn't something that I read as a kid.
I have never read it, so...
It's just always one of those things that existed, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a book that exists, and I never read it.
I remember someone in school once did a book report on Captain Underpants. And I just remember I was doing fucking Tolkien.
They were doing Captain Underpants.
I remember being like...
So mad.
Being like, wow, I should have thought it. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm like, cretins. Anyway, it's time to leave.
It's time to leave.
Oh.